if you want to have power and control, you need to own the land, or at least have control. But like the Native Americans said, you can't actually ever own the land. You simply rent it temporarily, because ultimately it will pass from generation to generation. But Miami's much too, the land factor here is just too high. And people who are making $6 or $7 an hour, it's very difficult for them to even acquire any significant amounts of land. It just doesn't happen.
Muhammad Mullick, and I'm actually the president of Acting Out to Stop War and Racism. And actually, where this actually all began, this Take Back the Land project began October 23rd.
Correct.
That's when it began. To what later became Umoja Village, and at that time it was just an empty lot. And from then on, I think that pretty much have been going there like every week or 2 weeks, visiting. But there's been students from FAU and UM and a bunch of other places that have been visiting. It's just that no one really created a demonstration. I feel that like what we needed to do was create this structure right here for people to see, to force it into people's awareness and consciousness, because otherwise I don't really think that people really grasp that places like this exist in Miami. I mean, as this sign, for instance, says, you know, one of the members of Answer actually pointed this out. He said, you know, in every first world there are third world ghettos.
Think positively back to us. The media has been a great friend and ally to us. A great friend. Part of this would not have happened if it weren't for their help.
This is actually a historical event, according to an administrator I was talking to. The Board of Trustees and student government have backed this, and what we're hoping to do is get FIU as an institution behind this, because unfortunately, like even in Pakistan, like I see these kind of things. That's where my parents are from Pakistan. When you see places like this, they're even more shoddier. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that, you know, it's just an embarrassment to have something like this in Miami. It's an embarrassment that, you know, so many millions and millions of dollars have just gone missing. And, you know, the media, there have been different articles that have been produced about this situation, and there are politicians who speak about it. But I feel that ultimately the change has to come from the community. And, you know, people are working. I understand how that works out, so they can't dedicate their full time, but it's up to the students. Like historically, especially from the 60s, when people had a problem, they wanted to fix the society, and there wasn't people speaking up, it's pretty much the university was the last place of resort to go to speak up about these things. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring awareness. We're also trying to send a message to the city government. You know, fix yourself, correct yourself, find out who did this. Let's have some accountability. It needs. We want to create that library because, you know, there are some people there that it was really heartening. I don't know if Chris told you this, but it really struck me in the heart when, you know, I asked him, hey, what do you want? What do you guys want? You know, usually you expect like food, you know, these kind of things. And two of them looked me, you know, dead in the eye, and they said, you know, we want education, you know. And I was like, what kind of books do you want? Like, we want to learn history, we want to learn math, we want to get our GEDs, we want to move on, you know, really want to help out. So they can see it for themselves. It's almost like you're putting yourself in the shoes of people who are homeless or who live in Umoja Village, and you're seeing it through their eyes. You know, like someone also asked me, hey, is this a black thing, right? And, you know, it's kind of interesting because I asked them why they think it's a black thing, and it's because, oh, you know, it's Umoja Village, and I saw the articles, and it was mostly black people. And it's true. I mean, it's not that. It's pretty much. It's primarily African American. But there's been some responses like that that have been racist. But I think that that's the whole point of this. That's another one of the point of this demonstration.